Hey, look, it says we're live doing our podcast again.
Hmm.
Are you eating Pop Tarts for dinner?
After dinner, it's a dessert.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's
Nice.
it's the late breakfast of champions.
We bought a case of a Costco box of those a while back, and I just finished it off, and I may have to take a break for a while. That's a lot of Pop Tarts.
Like
So,
wait a
yeah.
minute, when I was growing up, the grocery stores in Denver had the Food Club toaster
Hmm.
pastries, which were so much better than Pop Tarts because the filling went like edge to edge to edge,
Yes, they completely filled the pastry. There was a
and it was
similar
like,
one. Yeah. Yeah,
and
the
it
Pop
wasn't
Tarts, you're
so
just paying for the icing.
yeah. And these are they're kind of pasty, and you got to drink a whole glass of milk and those Food Club toaster pastries. Oh baby,
I remember those. Yes.
that's right.
We got those a lot of times when we went to Mississippi to the grocery stores there.
Piggly Wiggly or the Winn Dixie,
Oh, there was those. There was both of those. There was a
Albertsons. Okay.
sunflower, Piggly Wiggly, and there was a local one there in the town where my grandma and my uncle lived called Ramey's.
Ooh.
They were local. They were an IGA. So, anyway, yeah, there wasn't much to do in Waynesboro, as it turns out. What up, Waynesboro? So yeah, this is episode 61 of Slurp Toast, a podcast. How was your Father's Day?
Yeah, it was quiet. When your daughter's in France, it's very quiet.
Yeah, I
Yep.
had a quiet one too. Jack didn't come home. Connor bought tickets to go see a Humphrey Bogart double feature at the local repertory theater, and then Laura went and got a manicure, pedicure, and ran some errands. So like, I watched the Harley Quinn Valentine special, which I hadn't watched yet, and then took a nap. It was on. We went and ate barbecue. It was awesome. I did nothing yesterday, as previously reported, and it was
Nice.
delightful. It was delightful. So probably the most relaxing Father's Day I've had in 20 years. Oh yeah. So how much longer is your daughter in France?
Wednesday.
Okay,
Mhm.
that was 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I think it's like 15, 14, 15 days. So
Now, was this a French club situation? Was it
more
a
or less.
okay?
So she went to France, Paris for a couple of days, someplace in the south of France for a couple of days, lived with a French family for a couple of days, and then they're going to see the changing of the guard in Monaco, and they fly from Nice to
Nice.
Amsterdam to Detroit and to home.
That's quite a return flight going through Amsterdam and Detroit.
Hmm. It's the alpha and omega of
Wow.
human behavior. Here's a really liberal open and bring a gun. Oh yeah.
uh,
That is a hell of a yeah.
Stop and get some drugs, and then stop by the
Sell
pawn
them
shop at the 8 Mile. Yeah,
and sell
turn
the
a
drugs.
profit on the. Yeah, yeah. Probably sell them in the airport. You get them through
That's,
customs.
that's right. Some
I mean, it's
gummies
the
for
Detroit
you.
airport. I'm guessing it's kind of lax,
It's because they're monitoring for domestic terrorists, not international.
or just a gang fight to break out. Gun battle in the terminal.
Yeah, they're doing the frisks on the Atlanta, Detroit to Atlanta flight. Oh, you're coming
Did you
from
get?
Amsterdam?
Yeah, you can go on through. You're
Yeah,
probably chill.
yeah.
Did you get your Comic Con badge? I got mine yesterday.
I haven't looked. I'm hoping I
Okay.
got it today.
Laura came in and goes, "Were you expecting something?" And it was like a Pennsylvania return address. I'm like, "What is this?" Okay, and it
Did we
was.
get mail
It's a.
today?
No, we don't because it's a national holiday.
Okay, well then maybe I don't have it.
Maybe tomorrow. It's boys themed.
Well, we're boys. That works.
No lanyard though. It's just the badge.
I bought my own lanyard the one year because they give out the one that's sponsored by Sony and it's kind of cheap as piece of shit.
Yeah, I
And
mean
even
I've
the
got
badges are cheaper. They're paper printed, one RFID, and off you go.
yeah. They've kind of cheaped out on that. Of course, they're probably still trying to make up from all the blood they hemorrhaged over the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm willing to cut them a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
Some poor intern sitting at the color copier going, "Why am I getting college credit for this?" Um, 3 guys, one's printing, one's tearing, and one's stuffing. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
And they're all getting paid $7 an hour
If they're getting paid,
plus experience,
and they get to go to the show for free.
and they get to go to the show for free.
Well, they have
That
to
right
work
there
the
is-
show.
Yeah. Poor
They don't really get to go to the show. They have to work to the show.
Now you've cut the badges. You need to go and stuff the bags.
And we'll see you on the sales pavilion.
That's right. We'll see you in the sales pavilion as I try and switch out my, I don't know, something terrible bag for something less terrible bag.
Well, I mean, with the CW doing away with all their shows, they've lost like 90% of their sponsorship.
Do we pay for Comic-Con, or should we just let all those people go? Well, let's just let them all go. They've all run their course.
And then some in some
And then
cases.
some. Mhm.
Oh, man.
So who knows what we'll get? We'll probably just get, Comic-Con. Well,
We could get the Marvels.
I don't know, because everything that I don't remember there being a whole lot of Marvel themed bags. As
No,
I'm
I
thinking
can't
back through
either.
the
It
year.
feels
It's-
way
it's
more
like been-
WBE.
Yeah, it's been WB. It's been Kids WB. I think one year there was like Bugs Bunny on the bag,
There was a
or
Lego Batman one year because I think I have one of those.
one year was kind of cool. Was they had a pin attached to the bag, like you got the bag, and then there was a real, stick it to your shirt pin
Really?
on there. Yeah, and they had like 4 different kinds. I sold that shit. And I was like, I don't know.
Still not as good as the first year we went for Gonzo Geek and I sold the Walking Dead comic book coming out of the obstacle course.
Oh, I know. I gave mine to some guy for real. I was like, yeah, I got it for free. What do I care?
Dude
John-
offered me $20. It was found money. I didn't care. I'd read the
Oh.
book already.
Yeah. Well, John, I walked around with John Sunday morning at the show as he tried to sell his. And these guys are like, "I give you $5." And he goes, "Well, it's mint." The guy's like, "No, it's not."
It's been in your bag for 2 days.
I was like, "John, you probably should have sold it to dude when you walked out the door."
Yeah, that was the easiest $20 I ever made. Hey man, you want to sell that? Yeah, here.
Yeah,
Like, I
what
think
you
it was
want?
in my hand for like 20 seconds. I don't know.
Oh yeah. There was no need to keep that one.
No, that was just money waiting to be made. Oh.
It's good to run into those things from time to time.
Yeah, I sent a guy. I found a guy online who buys old RPGs, kind of lock, stock, and barrel. So last night I dug out. That was the one thing. That's the one activity I did yesterday that I've been wanting to do, and by God, I did it yesterday on my day off. I went up in my closet, and got out the box full of RPGs, and took pictures and said, "Here, make me an offer. I don't want this stuff anymore. My children don't want it. What will you give me for it? Because that's Comic-Con money, is what I'm thinking."
What'd you get?
I haven't got an offer yet. I sent it late
Okay.
last night, and he said the website says if you don't hear back from me in 24 hours, shoot me another email without all the pictures the next day. Okay, that's fair. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we cleaned out the
And he'll pay
garage.
for,
We
and
had
he
all-
pays for shipping. So I mean,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
you
No,
clean
we
out the garage.
we cleaned out the garage and had a whole bunch of like record albums, and I went through them and I tried to like get an idea of what they're caught, what they're worth, And I'm like, you know what? I don't know shit about this. I don't know if it's the Roxbury pressing or the this
Oh,
pressing or the, and I was like, I'll just go by prices, $2, $5, $10. And I ended up with like this box that, according to those values, what I could sell them for on eBay was like $400. The guy goes, give you $50. I'm like, done.
yeah.
he goes, you kind of gave up easy. I go, it's not really giving up. I mean, I figured you'd be about $50. And I told him, I go, I don't know anything about what I have. I know that some of this stuff looks like dirt cheap on eBay, which means there's little to do to it. I don't have the time and the patience to try and like, take pictures, list, and then ship every one of these individually. And the guy goes, "No, you get it. That's cool." And he told me, because I can get, and he went through the bin. He goes, I can get $30 for this one. I can get $20 for this one. I can get 15 for these two. I'm positive. And then he just went through the albums, told me what all he could get. And then he said, and this I'm going to give to a friend who's got a flea market. He goes, he goes, I'll make some money off you. And I was like, I get it. That's cool. I don't care. They're out of my garage. So that's a win for
Exactly.
me. You get to make some money off it. That's a win for you. So
And somebody gets the record. Somebody that wants the record gets the record, so that's a win for them.
yeah,
And it's the circle of life.
yeah. I don't see this as being a horrible. I don't see this as. I don't see myself. Pop collectors. They're like, hey, I did my PPG on my pop collection, and it's worth $600, and this guy offered me 100. And he puts a picture of it, and you look at it, it's like, oh, he was being kind.
It's
You've
the
got like
lesson
four.
we. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's a lesson that we learned over with comic books and stuff. It's
Well,
just
I was thinking this the Wizard magazine lesson. Yeah, sure. That comic's not worth that much. Just because
yeah,
your buddy can't draw feet said he wanted to make it that much this month doesn't mean it actually is.
yeah. The one guy paid $100 for it in New Jersey. Not going to work out here in Middle America.
Yeah,
I
no.
might get 50 if I'm lucky. Um, but yeah, those price guide folks, they are a shit ton of fun. Uh, I watched one guy try.
No relationship to reality whatsoever.
No, I watched this. I went in. We have like used goods stores here in town. It's called Vintage Stock,
Right.
and they one of the managers explained their pricing to me. She goes, "We will offer you one half of what the ultimate discount price would be." Okay,
So
so that
let's see if I
means
got. Let me guess. So that means they're going to have their starting retail, then they've got a series of step downs,
you
and whatever
got it
their bottom step is, they're going to pay you half of that up front to take it off your hands.
correct.
Nice. Well, at least they're upfront about it.
Well, I mean, she was up front with me because I was asking questions. I wasn't argumentative,
Right.
and I was just selling some books, right? And she even said, she goes, you'd have better luck selling these on eBay. And I did. Uh, you know, I sold them less than cover price, but twice what she was going to give me. So I figured it was mostly a win. So this guy's got a box. He goes, well, this is like $200 in the price guides. And I'm looking at his stuff and I'm like going, okay, dude, if you want to know what your price is going to be, find the cheapest pop, divide it by half, and that's what you're getting for all your comments. you know. So you're getting $3.50 because their bottom line sale price is $6.99. So
so
your
you're gonna.
bottom
So you get 350.
so your bottom dollar for a pop is 350. If you spent 12 or 15 or whatever, yes, you've lost $12. That's reality. And if you can't afford to do that, you shouldn't be trying to flip pops.
Because they're not all going to hold their value.
Nope. I keep track of what I pay for them and then what I sell for them, so that like
Mhm.
when eBay says, "Well, here you made $1,000," I'm going to say, "No, I lost 100. Here's what I paid for them."
Right.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I watch these guys trying to flip them, and it's just like, God damn, guys, you're not going to make any money. Just selling on eBay, selling a $12 pop on eBay, you basically have to sell it for about $18 to get your money back.
Yeah, because the fees are running about 18%, aren't they?
Well,
I've been gone for a few years, so I don't remember exactly.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm a top seller, so my fees are 13.
Yeah.
And then the thing I think is worth a class action lawsuit is they'll collect sales tax for you, but
Mm-hmm.
still charge you the fee on that sales tax that you don't see. So your effective discounted rate there is about 15 to 16%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so if you sell it for $20, $3 in fees, you're at 17. You bought it for 12, you probably paid a buck and a half in tax. So you're not quite,
You're close to even.
you're close to even.
You may be a little upside down.
Yeah, you may have made like $2, and there's guys like, yeah, but I get $20 for every one I sell, and they only cost. So I made, and I was like, man,
No, you don't
no,
understand math.
you playa, go ahead and wear your oversized coat and your hat sideways, and talk like a street punk because you broke.
Can you eat that plastic, son?
Uh huh.
It ain't gonna cook up
Yeah.
though. It's gonna melt.
Mhm.
So speaking of pops, this wasn't on my list, but now you told me you got us tickets to Fun Days. Is that correct?
That's correct. That is
Sweet.
correct.
So that's a place where I can make some money, huh?
Yeah, more than likely. I think you could. Depending on what you get, yeah. And you could
Are
actually
the
make
boxes like random packs?
yeah, yeah. So typically, what happens at Fun Days? First of all, you go to be entertained because it is fun as hell. Um,
Yeah, sure.
and me and my group of friends have kind of caused rule changes over the years because of our behaviors.
Shocking.
Um, shocking, shocking, shocking. Um,
You have
but
to do it the hard way.
by the way, yeah. So okay. So the first thing you'll get is a box of fun. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's back this up. We're gonna get dinner, and we're gonna get 2.5, 3 hours of entertainment. Okay.
Okay.
And this has in the past been Cirque du Soleil performers. One girl did like a silk dance that my
Mhm.
friend's wife, and you'll meet Will and Kristen when you come out with us. Um, she's like, "That's great. I now have to explain to my 5-year-old what a whore is," and I'm like,
Don't really
you
have
don't.
to.
Yeah, I said you don't have to. I mean, I get it. He's learning what it is now, but you her daughter's like, I want to do that. No, you don't. It's like she can do it. She just has to wear pants where you covers your crotch. But yeah. So we've had Cirque du Soleil performers. We've had magicians. Um, there's been like special guests come out. One year, Mark Hamill came out. Fluffy came out.
Mhm.
One of the dudes from fucking Metallica came out.
Nice.
You know, Danny Trejo came out one year.
I've met
Um,
him. He's a cool dude.
he was a cool dude. But anyway, so that's what you get is the evening entertainment, food. You get food. You get drink tickets. We've typically made our own bar in the line, so by the time we got in, we were really lit. One year, one year in line, we popped up a tent and started the tailgate basically, and the hotel made us take it down. But we had a cooler full of beer. It was not pretty. It's like, at least they didn't check the cooler and make us pour anything out. Um, but then you get in, they give you food, they give you a drink ticket, they give you a box of fun. They usually give away prototypes and stuff. Um, the box of fun is usually three or four, three Freddy, their mascot character.
Mhm.
Edition size ranges from like a super rare. It used to be a 12 count, but now I think super rare is like 100 or 500. 500 is now super
Super
rare.
rare is
It's
500.
500, yeah. But anyway, you'll get a box of fun, and they'll have some different Freddies and stuff. And depending on who you get, yeah, you could make a couple of bucks on your way out the door. You
Once
might
you make
actually
enough to pay you back.
make money at the dinner table.
See, I'm all about the green in this situation, probably, unless it's something I really can't live without. I'm
Oh,
looking to
yeah,
like
that's
cover my cost is what I'm looking
yeah,
for.
yeah.
Probably should have
Um,
said that on the air, but anyway.
no,
Um,
no, everybody does it. You'll be able to. There'll be people set up, and some of them will buy stuff, and then they'll also have some prize patrol go around during the dinner and drop off, like So typically there'll be two or three that like everybody in the place gets, and then there'll be some that only each section gets.
okay.
You know. And that's typically a lot of fun, and it's just bee noise. They have some games, but yeah, you end up walking out with like maybe 8 pops or so, um, a prototype, if that's your thing, and then yeah, I got one buddy who just goes and trades like a madman right after the event, and hopefully he'll come out again this year. Uh, Will with 1L.
I think I met him last year, didn't I? At the
Yeah,
first night of the
yeah.
yeah.
Super nice guy. A lot of fun to hang out with. But anyway, Will, he comes to trade and he just goes nuts and trades his balls off and usually comes home with a lot of really cool stuff. Um, I traded some stuff last year for things that I wanted. I'm pretty sure, and it was really weird because it was like you had this one guy sitting like back in the back, right? He's back there and he's kind of in a chair, or I don't know, it looked like a director's chair. He's just sort of sitting back there, stone faced. And then he's got like these 3 tables in front of him with these super young Asian dudes, right? And they've all got a bunch of stuff on there. So I walk up and there's one piece that I wanted. And I was like, hey man, Spider-Man Proto, I want this. And the guy's looking at it, and then he looks back and like stone face is like, and then he makes the trade. I was like, this is ridiculous.
What
This
the
isn't
hell kind
fucking
of Jabba the Hutt shit is that?
exactly. And that was my thought. It was like, God damn it, guys. It's like a simple yes or no,
He
Um,
brought a coterie of lackeys.
yeah, oh yeah. Some of these guys will find ways to get that coterie of lackeys. And anyway, it's just a lot of fun. And it's a couple hours. And, I've been doing it for, I guess, 10 years now.
Yeah.
So the best part of the afternoon, evening is just kind of walking up and down the line, seeing people I know, hanging out, catching up. Uh, yeah, doing shots. Yeah, a lot of fun. And typically the last couple of years they've announced a theme beforehand.
Okay.
And so like last year was black light, so I got like a neon bright safety yellow thing that reflected light. Um, and one year was like the 80s prom, and yeah, had a shock wig and just sort of it was fun. And then one year was tiki,
Sweet.
so I had like a grass skirt and a Hawaiian shirt, and yeah. And
All right.
yeah, it's just kind of fun, a good time. The theme is camp, so I have a feeling there'll be something like I think you dress like Boy Scouts, but I think that gets really going to get you the wrong attention. I
I
don't
think
know.
you just wear a hockey mask and goes Jason.
There, see, that's thinking outside the box. Yeah. And then inside they have some contests and some games that you can maybe play and win some extra prizes. Their big
Cool.
thing is a can of corn, which is they open up a can of corn and you got to down the whole can of corn.
Oh,
I did it one year, and I'm very proud of I got this 9-inch proto of Freddie
mhm.
for doing it, but I thought I was going to vomit because as I'm getting down to the end, one of my buddy goes, "Here, wash it down with this," and I go, "Oh, I thought it was a tea or a Coke. No, it was fucking great whiskey."
Oh,
I'm like, going, "You motherfucker!"
it's corn
It
in
may have
all of
been
its
Will with
myriad
1L.
forms.
But anyway, went up there with a can of corn, got my big giant proto, and it was just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out of
Oh,
here. I go sit back at
oh,
my table and puke.
that makes me a little
Uh,
nauseous. Wait, hold on.
it makes
We
you,
have
wait,
a
wait,
drop
yeah, we
for
go.
this. We have a
Yeah.
drop for.
It makes me a little bit ill.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, absolutely. 100%
Uh,
makes you ill.
all right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. So
But
I've
anyway,
heard you talk about.
it's fun. It'll be a good time. Here's something that would be fun, maybe for me and possibly for you. But my idiot ex brother-in-law is flying my nephews out there and says he's going to take them to Comic-Con.
Does he have tickets? Does he
I
think he's
know.
just going to walk up like it's 1997?
No, I have no idea. And I've already told my mom. I was like, well, make sure Bradley has my number because I'm going to be there Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, although I've got tickets. Thursday, Bruce and I got tickets to the show. So if they had a way to get in, they'd certainly welcome to come walk the show
Oh,
with
for
us.
sure. For sure.
Friday, we'll probably walk the show in the morning, but then we've got the party, and I think the doors open at 5. So we may be out there waiting to get in like round 2.
No, I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start working. I'm gonna have to get on like the start playing some Rocky music and get my get ready for this. I'm out of party shape.
Exactly. Yeah, this actually wipes me out for about 3 days before I get home. So anyway, so I told him, I said, yeah, give us a call. And even if it's like they wanted to come down like on Saturday and just walk around outside.
Sure,
I don't know when
sure.
your flight leaves, but I told
It's
him, I was like,
late. It's
yeah,
late.
perfect. I go, well, just walk around. We'll have a pass that gets them in, and I can just say, Bradley, if you want to go in, we'll hang out here with Nick.
Yeah.
Just go
Take
in,
him to get a burrito.
look around. Yeah. And then, of course, we can then beat my ex-brother-in-law up and throw him in the bay.
So it's a win-win.
It's a potential to be a huge win-win. Yes.
So what we need to do when we get to the hotel is ask for some extra pillowcases,
And some batteries.
or we go to and get some oranges. Go
We
full
go to
private
Ralph's.
pile. Private pile.
We'll go to Ralph's, get some oranges, and take this motherfucker down.
Or we go Sean Penn Bad Boys and just get a 6-pack of Coke each, dump it into the pillowcases, and wail.
So yeah.
Oh, now I'm excited about
But yeah,
that opportunity.
Yeah. And then I'm waiting to hear about preview night. So
Okay.
if I get into the Funko booth and there's any Funko that you want to get and try and flip, if I can get in, then I have a pretty good shot of getting all that stuff Friday night. And then
We don't have to go into
we're
that
done.
hell corner on Thursday.
We don't have to go into Hell Corner anymore. We can spend the rest of the time looking for, I don't know, old Migos
Comics?
or something.
Comics.
Trade paperbacks. Yeah. That was it. Did I tell you I went to Mile High Comics last time I was out in Denver?
No. Cool.
Yes. Yes.
I would love to go to that place.
Yeah, it's just a giant ass comic book warehouse. And there's actually the floor that you can walk around on. And then it's probably maybe a third of the warehouse floor.
Mhm.
And the rest is just racks and racks of books.
So do they
It's
have
in
to
it.
go back and get something for you if you want to see it, or can you?
I don't
get
know. I think you have to ask or something. I went. It was it's only like 20 minutes from where my parents live.
Oh, really?
Right.
That's fun.
So they were like, "What do you want to do today?" And my sister's like, "Well, I got to go down to such and such and get some T-shirts for people back in New Zealand." And I'm like, I go south? She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How far south?" She's like, "I don't know, 15 minutes." So I go into Google. I'm like, "Well, that makes. I will go with you, but we a side trip,
Or you can drop me off and come back.
or you can drop me off and come back." Yeah. So yeah, it was
Nice.
actually kind of cool. It was really big. It was really neat. Yeah, and just wander around. That's where I saw Amazing Fantasy 15 for like
Really?
$100,000. Yeah, very good, very fine condition.
Wow.
I'm just like going, holy shit. So like all of those books are like right there along the wall, sort of as you kind of come in. And I mean, it's just like, holy shit, X-Men #1 in mint condition. I mean, it's just all these books are
Wow.
just sitting there. And then, yeah, just rows and rows of books and lots of ephemeral, action figures and other stuff. Not as much as I thought there would be, like the other stuff, but still.
So they're like full on, still a comic.
Yeah, we're still a comic
behemoth.
shop. I talked to some guy and I was like, he goes, "Oh, first time in?" I was like, "No. I actually used to come here like 40 years, 35, 40 years ago, back when you guys were down on Colfax." And the guy looks at me and goes, "Oh, we were in a lot of different places." And I'm like,
It's legal there,
but a part of me was just like, dude, you know,
Do you
I
know where
did.
you are now?
Yeah, I did like the old man thing. Well, back in the day, it was one box, no bags, no boards. No, this
They
shitty
were,
grading system.
they were all just sitting in piles on the floor.
And you went through them, and you got the ones you thought, oh yeah,
That looks like something I'd like to read.
Cyclops and the girlfriend on the cover shooting laser beams out of their hands.
My God, in my day, all of our books leaned forward because they were all in a spinner rack. You got it going fast enough, you got to breeze.
I mean, I think of some of the books that like my friends and I bought at
7-Eleven.
stands at 7-Eleven. Yeah, Teen Titans #1. My buddy bought it because it was a number. 3 years later, it's like a $200 book.
Yeah.
um, Another one, his brother was into X-Men and Death of Jean Grey. I mean, bought it newsstand.
My copy of that one, I
Mhm.
started reading X-Men regularly the issue after that one, the one where Cyclops left, kind of the pink cover, and he's in the foreground.
Yeah.
And one day, like months later, right? Months after that book came out, it was in the summer, right? The next summer, Dad took me out with him to work one day. We were, he was pigging the pipeline. You know what that is?
I'm gonna say just checking it out to make sure, or cleaning it. Which
There you go.
There you
It's
go.
that. They put a big plastic thing in one end of and they pressurize behind it, and it's so snug, the pressure pushes it through, and it pushes all that debris through. It cleans out the pipeline, right? But you have to go from meter station to meter station along the pipeline to hear it go whoosh through it. So it's still working, right? And we were somewhere down like Delcom, Cameron, somewhere down there, right? And we stopped to get at the grocery store in Delcom or Cameron or wherever the hell we were. And there was one of them on remember how the grocery stores used to have the magazine racks with the comics on the bottom shelf? There it was. Like 6 months later, I'm like, Dad, can I have this? Yeah, sure. He was in a good mood. He didn't give me shit about it. So yeah, that's my Death of Jean Grey. I found it on a grocery store shelf like months later. And down in Cameron Parish somewhere.
So, but that's the days we're collecting. We'd ride our bikes to 7-Eleven, and then, you'd come home and your shit was destroyed by the time you got
Shit, yeah. You remember Adrian's Supermarket on Congress? Okay, so they used to have when they were still on Gilbo Road, when we first moved there, they had a spinner rack in the front. And if you did it just right, the adult magazines were like behind the service counter, which was just on the other side. And the National Lampoons were in there. And if nobody was paying attention, you could do some devious things, right? But the spinner rack was right there in the corner. And then they moved over over off of Congress. And we had gone up there one Saturday for something, and me and Dad and my sister, and he got ready to leave, and I was still flipping through stuff. And I clearly lost track of time because I looked up. They were gone. Dave left my ass. I got home, and Mom was like, "Where's Bruce?" I left him. What? I mean, it wasn't that far to our house, right? It wasn't a big deal. I could walk home. But Mom freaked out, apparently. You just left him? I told him I was ready to go, and he didn't come, and I left. She sent him back. I was halfway home. But yeah, he left my ass looking at comic books at least once.
Oh, shit. Every now and again, Frank and I play this game where it's like Steve Steve gets a wild hair and looks up his past.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Potentially
So
scary.
I was telling somebody about Arthur's house and how you and I were talking one day about how it starts off with Bruce going, we were unsupervised. We could have been drinking all the time, right? And then the conversation goes, did you remember the other house where all the kitchen workers worked? And that's when Bruce and I decided that the rumors about his old man being in the Chinese mob may have been true, and he might have been human trafficking for all we knew.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to Google Earth after telling that story to somebody. And he's like, all the kitchen workers, you're lying. I'm like, I am not lying. I'll get people to fucking validate this. I go, there was like this sea of cots out on their back patio, and there was like
Mhm.
all of them. The
There was,
house
there
is.
was, and there was like a, it was like the first house.
Mhm.
There was like a hallway in the back that went to some bedrooms. You remember that?
Yes,
Like off the
yes,
kitchen
'cause
in
they
the
like
back.
enclosed.
Yeah.
It's like they enclosed the back patio.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go to Google Earth and you look, yes, you can see that they have added more roof section to that house, and that there is still a walkway over the coulee
Oh, really?
into the back. Yeah. So I go back around to the front. Now it's a Planet Fitness now. The
Yeah.
Chinese restaurant is gone.
Yeah.
So
Most
you're
of that
kinda
shopping
like,
center's turned over. Yeah.
yeah. So you're like looking at it going, well, there is a Tokyo Steakhouse, so maybe they just changed the business. And
Well, they had actually moved from that location to around the corner, close, like on the other side.
oh, really?
Yeah, like that shopping center that was kind of at the end of of Orange. Was it Orangewood? Orangewood, right there. There was that
Okay.
shopping center that when we went into the neighborhood, it was on the right. They had moved into there at one point.
Oh.
There were food dogs and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I've said it before on this podcast. I'm going to say it again. If we had been of a mind to do it, we could have raided the freezer, the walk-in cooler. No
Mhm.
one would have stopped us.
Oh, hell no. We
Nobody in
coulda
the
had-
kitchen spoke English.
we
They
don't
just-
know the. Why didn't you stop them? We don't know the English word for stop.
They would recognize Arthur, and it would probably be okay. I mean,
they
seriously,
just
we
let
could
it
have
go.
spent years drunker than anybody else in high school if we had been so inclined.
Exactly. I tried to get Krista to go to a Godfather's Pizza. She's like, when was the last time you were at Godfather's Pizza? And I go, high school. She's like, that was 40 years ago. Like,
They just opened a Mr. Daddy's down the road from me. I'm like, oh God, we could lay waste to a buffet on a Saturday. They had like the 2 cocktail video game tables, and we would just set up shop.
oh, yeah. So I was like, yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, that's, I think, when the last time we went for like the pizza buffet and just wiped it out.
It was that same parking lot as the Arthur's Family Restaurant,
Mhm.
and that was a good hang on a Friday night
Yes.
in that parking
yes.
lot. Wow.
Oh,
The
yeah.
wind's coming out of the west. It smells like nostalgia.
I know. Well, you know, the stop and so I go and I go, here, let me show you where my first job was. Arby's is still there.
Mm-hmm.
The Stop and Rob that was next to Arby's is no longer there.
It's not?
No,
Oh, okay.
they took it out. There's like a tire changing place or something. And I go, okay, here, let me just do this. Go to street level. They're like, okay. I go, here's Arby's. They're like, yeah. I go, that's a drive-through. Yeah. See the median strip? Yeah. Imagine next to that is a Stop and Rob, and there's a dumpster there. And this guy I work with drives out of our parking lot, parks next to the dumpster, and this should give you an idea of how far away he parked. Walked over here, left his truck running and unlocked, comes back, and his truck is stolen. And why? Because he wanted a Coke, and he didn't like RC Cola, which is what Arby's had. He could have walked to the fucking Stop and Rob. And so when I show them that, they're like, wow, that story got a whole lot worse.
have you done, because I've done some of this too. Have you gone down Ambassador back toward our houses and seen all the development back through there?
Oh, holy shit. Yeah.
There was
Walmart,
nothing through
super-
there.
No, it
There's
was
a
just
Hooters
all-
down there.
Yes. I have done that. Gone down the street and going, oh, there's the family style restaurant where you and I kept drinking up pops as quick as we could. So that poor girl, she'd bring you a new pop and you'd be like, oh, I'm empty. So she'd bring you a new pop.
Oh, and
And
we
Tiffany
got
did
Stacy
it.
and Tiffany on. Yes. And your mother finally made us stop. No, stop.
Yes.
That's enough.
It's like
Because she
8
figured
pop.
out what we were doing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've told
So,
that
yeah,
story to my
it's-
children, and they're like, "That's not right, man." I'm like, "Yeah, but it was funny."
It was funny. And you're right. It's not right. But yeah, it is amazing to see how that was all built up.
Yeah. Like you couldn't. There was nothing through there when we lived there. It was just like you left the neighborhood and you didn't hit anything pretty much until you hit. Well, I guess the bowling alley was there, but
Yeah, until you hit the Ryan's Steakhouse.
yeah,
It was all empty.
yeah, and there was nothing the other way. There's a giant shopping center on the corner across from the church there at the end of my street.
Yes, yes, yes. I was
So,
noticing that. I was like, geez, this is not what it used to be.
mm-mm.
Gil Mesh. I can never remember. I always forget his name.
The pitcher?
Yeah, because when he came and played for the Royals for a couple of years, uh, it kind of started their upswing,
Okay.
which would be nice to see again at some point. Um,
You had your turn.
we had our turn, but yeah, I mean they're like 19 and whatever right now, and they won one against the Angels, and their
Did they sit
social
Trout
media,
and Otani?
huh?
Did they sit Trout and Otani?
Yeah, must have Seth. Yeah, but anyway, no, the Royals, their social media said Royals win. The Royals are now 1-0 in their last one game, and I wrote back 1-0 in their last game. Nice. Thanks for the snark. You're finally caught on.
That's funny. Uh, oh, that's good. Good.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we talked about the last time we were going to talk about Spider-Man this time. So should we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
So you saw Into the Spider-Verse,
I did see Into the Spider. We when we
Beyond the
dropped Babe
Beyond the
off,
Land of the Spider-Verse. I don't remember what it was called.
Beyond the Battle for the Spider Verse, Beneath the Spider Verse, Return to the Spider Verse,
Reboot of the Spider-Verse.
Reboot of the Spider Verse.
Tim
Just be
Burton's
like
Spider-Verse.
with Johnny Depp as Miles Morales. Helen Bonham Carter as Gwen Stacy.
And it ends up with with Abraham Lincoln's head as a spider.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to go there.
No. No, it was good. It was fun. We took Babe to the airport, and then we went and saw the Amazing Spider-Man traveling exhibit, which was kind of neat. They had props and some other stuff, and kind of the history of the character. That was cool. Then we went and saw the movie at a extreme screen, this 50-foot high screen for $5. So you can't beat it. It's a little overwhelming to see this giant Miguel O'Hara face, coming at you. Thank God it wasn't in 3D.
That just get on me? I don't.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm all sticky.
I really enjoyed it. I really hope they stick the landing on the third one, because if they do, it is going to be without a question the best Marvel trilogy to date. Just the animation is just mind-boggling.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
No, everything they do is great. I mean, when I saw the battle sequence in the first one, and you're just like, holy shit! Thank God I don't do acid. Because I mean that was trippy as hell. And then I think the fight with the spiders was fantastic, as they're chasing Miles all throughout the place.
Yeah.
And then my Uncle Ben, don't tell me, did he die?
Just the little nods, like the things in the webs and the canon moments that were going on in the background, where you would see things from the live action Spider-Man movies. When the 60s Spider-Man came in 2D, swinging in straight forward, I was laughing my ass off. I was just like, that is awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. That's one of those where it's like, oh,
They were all pointing at each other, all
Yes.
the spiders.
Gazillion of them. Yes. No, it was great, fantastic. And then janky old Spider-Man showed up, and I'm going to one day swallow the price tag and buy the Hasbro Legends janky Spider-Man, because he's in the sweatpants. and
So
barefoot.
that's what we're looking for at Comic-Con is the janky Spider-Man in sweatpants.
I can get him here, but it's like I'd like to not pay $35 for him, you know?
That's fair.
So yeah, we may be looking for janky Spider-Man. As that might
I
become my personal avatar.
I
Spider-Man in sweats.
I really love that movie. Those movies. I came back and I was just blathering on, and Laura was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah," because she hasn't seen either of them. She didn't go to see the first one with me and the boys, and then it was like, "Well," she was like, "Well, I won't know what's going on." I'm like, "It probably won't matter, but that's fair." So I'm going now.
No, just the things, and they even pushed what you could do with animation. A little jarring with Punk Spider-Man being like the comic book punks with all the cutouts and
Yeah,
stuff, which was amazing visuals, but a little tough to follow at times because it was just so much stuff going on. India Spider-Man was amazing. What a
that
great
was
costume.
so cool. That was
Uh,
really cool. Yeah.
and as far as like Funko has made, half a dozen of the Spider people.
hmm
You're sitting there watching the movie just going, "Oh, this could cost me so much money."
Into the spider debt.
Into the Spider.
Thank you.
But they've done 2 of the India Spider-Men. So there's the regular one you can buy at retail. Then there was an exclusive where it had all the extra detail that's in his costume.
Wow.
So, and somebody's like, "Well, it's kind of lame exclusive." And you're like, it's kind of lame. It's kind of not. It's actually cool to
I
see all
think
the texture and stuff.
I would say there's a very large market for that particular piece,
Billion people, yeah.
right? So maybe it doesn't ring your bell, but I'm thinking they're looking at a bottom line number there.
Yeah, Moonbatten, the whole, yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was very cool. Really enjoyed it. And there was a lot of like even grown up stuff about parents letting their children go, which makes it extra poignant on the day that you just, sent your kid off to France.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the first one with both boys. I saw
Mhm.
this one with one boy. So yeah,
Yeah,
It
it
was-
just kind of like,
who was
oh,
far less
shit.
engaged with it this time than he was last time. And I'm like, yeah, you're not getting it the same way I am. Yeah.
And if you're not sitting back and just letting the visuals wash over you, I think you're missing an opportunity to see just truly amazing animation.
And
Where
just
wherever,
so different than everything else that's out there right now. I mean everything. I'm talking Disney, I'm talking DreamWorks, I'm talking
oh yeah,
Ghibli, whatever the hell that is. I mean, it's just so different and so kinetic and so perfect for the
yeah.
character. I mean, it just is.
And yeah, and bouncing and the styles being a little bit subtly different for each different one. It's an amazing. They did such a great job, and of course, I'm sure in the last one we'll find out why Miguel is such a dick. Because I don't remember him being that way in the Spider-Man 2099 comics. But I will say, Andy Samberg as Scarlet Spider
Oh, so good.
strikes a perfect pose, muscles all in definition. It's just
Yes.
it's like,
I-
wow, you
I-
really captured the Eric Larson, Todd McFarlane.
I laughed. I laughed every time that character showed up, and I was then trying later to explain that character why I thought it was funny to Connor. And I just don't have that much time left in my life to explain the Scarlet Spider and why that shit was funny. But goddamn, it was.
Oh, I like it. We're doing the exhibit, and they have Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, and there's some people in front of us, and they're just like, "Oh, that was such a cool costume." And Kristen walks up to it, she goes, "Really? This was really his outfit?" I'm like, "Yeah, sweatshirt with the sleeves carved out and a red bodysuit." Man,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
height of
And
cool.
this occurred to me just now because we've got Andy Samberg as the Scarlet Spider, and we have Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir. Can we get some screen time for those two together in the third movie, please?
Yes, and I want
Spider Ham back.
Yes, John Mulaney and all
He was
of them
probably
together.
he was probably in
I mean,
rehab when they did this one. So,
To be fair, he's probably in rehab. But that would be a fantastic scene with having them fight would be amazing. Nick Cage and Scarlet Spider fighting it out, calling all their shots with Eddie Samberg doing almost. Are you making
almost
fun
Nicolas
of
Cage.
my voice?
Yeah.
No, this is how I talk. What's going on with you two?
That scene alone would be amazing.
He died.
Well, and Donald Glover being captured
And
as
being
the
sent back to his
Prowler
family. Yes,
was
yes.
just like, wait, if you didn't know that going by, that one just like, why is Childish Gambino in a cage? I mean, but if you knew the history behind all that, that was a wonderful Easter egg.
Oh yeah, no, there was some nice moments. I really hope that Funko makes the Lego Spider-Man pop because I would just it's like all the others are gone. That's the one I'm keeping.
It's everything you love in
It's
one
everything in
piece.
one toy.
It really
That
is.
janky Spider-Man. It'd be fucking fantastic.
Well, did you see The Flash by any chance as we discussed multiversity?
I have not seen The Flash. I assume that you have.
Yeah, we went to see it Friday night. And I'm going
And
to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
okay, good.
Better than it's probably without argumentation my favorite DCEU movie. And I went in with such low expectations.
That helps.
Yeah, well, there's that. But I mean, come on. Also having Michael Keaton's Batman in it, that didn't hurt. But it was a lot of that. I mean, a lot of the multiversity stuff was backloaded. There was a lot of story to get you to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it was even handled well. Just like getting him from point A to point B to start there were really three strong acts. It was the whole, oh, woe is me, my mom's dead, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Martha?
and then
Martha?
for some reason his mother's name is not Martha. But
Are
that
you sure
sort of
he's even in the DCU?
well, it's hard to say at this point, especially. But there was that whole first act built around that, which led to the dimensional hopping, which was then set all that other stuff in motion. And then there was this like whole other fan service piece at the end where I just totally
Fans won't service themselves.
well, they will if you give them time. Because before we went Friday, Connor and I were exchanging some texts, and I said, and I don't think this is going to give anything away if I say this. I said, if Christopher Reeve's Superman shows up in this movie, I could very well be done with superhero movies for a while because that's the full circle for me.
Sure. Well,
I mean,
yeah, it
that's
really
the
would
first,
be.
It really would. So I think I may be done with superhero movies for a while. I'm a man of my word. So we'll see. But yeah, it was really cool. Really well done. Some good surprises. I think you would enjoy it.
Okay.
Like I think we're both of the same opinion that the DCEU has been underwhelming to date, but that was a lot. It was fun. It was like a Flash comic book. It was a lot of weird shit,
but a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was just fun. It stood on its own. It wasn't doing so much heavy lifting. There were some things that, like, if you knew them from some of the other movies, it was going to enhance your experience, but it wasn't going to take away from it if you didn't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I think the point of the movies is that they should be fun.
Yeah, somewhere along the way they forgot that.
Yeah, the Dave Goyer, Snyder, it's got to be dark and gritty, and it's got to be, you gotta really, really hurt and feel it. And it's like, no, you don't. You
really
should
don't.
Just go in there to entertain us. It's all we want. We just are so happy to see our characters.
Here's what they lost. I mean, the Nick Fury scene at the end of Iron Man was so special because nobody was expecting it.
No, and now, You have to stay. It's just
Yeah.
the rules.
Yeah. So if they could figure out a way to sort of, even that piece out, even that piece out, it would help.
hmm They won't, of course,
No.
because
So yeah, because I've started going, okay, how many post-credit scenes do I have to sit through before I can leave the theater? Okay.
well, you have to live through the mid-season. I don't know.
I know
fucking
what you
can't
mean.
talk. Anyway,
The mid-credit scene and then the stinger at the
inside
end.
yes, and then yeah, it's too much, man. It's just
too
too
mu-
freaking much.
It's a funny book movie.
Thanks, Grandma.
And I want to circle back to something else we've talked about previously because I have an update. So we've talked a lot about my masochistic reading of Jack Kirby's writing efforts.
Uh
I did it again.
huh.
I
read
had
McFarlane Spider-Man.
no. I read more Jack Kirby.
Okay.
But this one, I finally found one that he wrote really well. That really worked to his strengths as a artist and a writer. It was
Okay.
Commandy, The Last
Oh,
Boy on
okay.
Earth. That one was, and it's like 40 issues and two volumes. I read all of it, and I didn't
Oh, wow.
hate it. I read the intro, and apparently DC tried to get the rights to Planet of the Apes and didn't get it. So I went to Jack and said, "Hey, can you throw something together to kind of, So Jack had some stuff in the closet that he hadn't used, piecemealed it together, and turned it into this post-apocalyptic future world where animals have evolved, not just apes, but all animals. So there's every time he goes somewhere, there's a different type of animal that's evolved into a different way. And he's like, he comes out of this bunker and goes into the world, and there's tigers, there's gorillas, there's snakes, and they're all evolved, and humans very much behave like the humans in Planet of the Apes. They're fodder, they're whatever.
Okay.
But like it's an interesting progression because like he goes across the land, and then like he talks about where this is supposed to be in the geography of Earth, right? And there's maps and things, and but like as he progresses through the story, he goes across the land. He spends some time with like aerial creatures. There's some aquatic creatures. So he kind of goes the whole gamut over the course of this story. And there's 2 or 3 other humans that have evolved into some sort of mutant where they have, because it's a Kirby comic book, their costumes look like they're Eternals. They have the Cyclo heart, where if they push this thing on their suit, they turn into metal. And but I thoroughly enjoyed the silliness of it. I mean, it was really fun. I enjoyed that one.
Commandy.
K-A, named
Got
after
it.
the bunker he lived in, Command D.
Mm,
Which they've tried to redo this character and bring him up to date. And a few years ago, they did some, like, I think it was when it was Kirby's birthday, they did the Commandy Challenge where they had like one writer artist team would do a chapter and then hand it off to somebody. It would end it with a cliffhanger, hand it off to another group, and they would do it, and then they hand it off for like 12 issues. They did that, and I've read that, and it was fun, but I didn't have a whole lot of history with the character, so I kind of want to read it again now that I've gone through the whole thing. But
and see how.
yeah,
Okay.
see how it compares, because that was one of the things that it did. Like he would divide it into each issue was like 4 chapters. It'd be like a couple of pages of an intro chapter, then set up the story, kind of do the main story and the B storyline, and then have a little outro where things resolve. And then the next issue would pick up 5 or 6 pages in theory after the last issue. So he had moved on from where he ended, but he was into
Oh, wow.
something else. So he moved the
Okay.
story forward without ever actually telling the whole story, which was a neat idea, I thought. So,
Okay.
anyway, I enjoyed Commandy.
All
I
right.
may be looking for a Commandy action figure while we're at Comic-Con.
They ever make one?
They did. It was one of the.
Oh, it was one of the Justice League International.
No, sadly, no, they didn't do that. He was on Brave and the Bold a bunch of times, and so Connor knew the character. It was funny because Connor remembered the character from Brave and the Bold, like because it really like he was in the like those little snippets they did in the front end where it was like the
Oh,
tail
yeah,
end of an
be like-
adventure before they got into the main story. So Connor recognized the character, which I thought was funny. Yeah, no, it was one of the DC classics, one of the big like 9-inch ones. They did one of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
those McFarlane things are amazing.
They really are. They really are.
All right, I'm looking up Commandy action figure.
It looks like Tarzan with a handgun.
Oh, son of a bitch, it does. That doesn't look like Kirby at all.
No, and as I was reading Commandy, I was thinking to myself, why has no one ever done action figures Kirby style? All those
You know
weird
what?
angles and like flat hands and put weird joints in them, so they do weird poses and shit.
So their legs go sideways.
Uh
So
huh.
you do that coming at you.
They hip out and backwards.
They hip
and,
out and the legs, go
Yeah.
out, and then the one hand comes up like this,
like right in front of.
and all the mouths, all the characters are like,
Seriously, could you imagine like just that blocky art as an action figure? It would be amazing.
that would be cool. Oh yeah, you're right. We got to find this. Oh shit, it's like, it does look kind of like He-Man.
Yeah, a little bit.
My search pulled up He-Man, and are those McFarlane figures? Are they early?
No,
McFarlane?
that's the like the early 2000s DC ones that they used to have at Toys R Us
Okay,
with like
cool.
build a figure pieces in it. So-
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, no, actually, they so DC did them. It was like a DC Direct. They did some of the Big Four in the Darwin Cook style.
Oh.
They did Green Lantern, they did Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, I think, from whatever story he did.
Was it
The Justice League,
Frontier Final
New Frontier, or
New
something
Frontier?
like that.
Yeah.
I
That's
had
it.
the trade somewhere. Yeah,
It's a good story.
but
It
I
was a
like
good-
Darwin Cook's art too. So
Yeah,
that
And they did an animated film in the same style too.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Although the animated films kind of like, I was really looking forward to the Red Sun one, and
Mhm.
when it finally came due, it's just kind of like, oh, I don't know, the pacing of this thing is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I was the same way with the son of was it the Bruce Lee, the 70s kung fu one, Bat and the Dragon or whatever the hell it was called.
Okay.
They had and it was like Scooby-Doo animation. I'm like, no. You need more kinetic. That's my word for the night. Kinetic animation if you're going to do a martial arts film.
Okay.
But you know which one is really good if you get a chance to watch it? And I saw it at Comic-Con one year while you were at Fun Days, ironically. It was done in the Justice League animated style. It's called Gods and Monsters.
Why do I remember that? Why do I?
It
sound
was-
like
Well, that was also a Brendan Fraser movie, but but this
is that
was
the one
done.
with Ian McClellan?
Yes,
And he
were
was like
correct.
the gay houseboy? Or
yes,
the
you are
yeah.
correct. You are correct,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Nicely done, by the way. This one was like an Elseworld story where
We
like
should have somebody on who just throws out shit.
see if
I
we
went
can
on a
pull-
tear about like spin-offs from All in the Family and Giant Swords. Anyway, but go on.
So it's an Elseworld story done in the Justice League Unlimited style. So I love that. And it's like Superman doesn't land in Kansas. He lands in a family of migrant farmers. It's Benjamin Bratt is the voice of Superman. So he's like a human rights activist. Wonder Woman is the daughter of Scott Free and Big Barda. So she's a fourth world character. Batman is voiced by Dexter, and he
Okay.
got bitten by a vampire. So he's actually a vampire, and it's really good. It's really weird, but it's really good.
Okay then.
So if you ever get a chance to watch that one, I give that one a thumbs up. I can't get anybody else to watch. I actually bought the DVD when it came out because it came with the Justice League animated style Wonder Woman Big Barda Fourth World figure. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right. So we talked about action figures in the style of Kirby.
Hmm.
They did make some New God action figures at some point.
There's quite a few of those floating around. Did they do them in the Kirby style?
Little bit. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just send me a picture of that. I may have to add that to the show notes.
Okay. I'm just I'm
I mean,
I'm
I
also trying to
have,
make sure that they're real and not somebody's customs. But
yeah, I have, because
oh
I
my
have
god.
almost the entire run of the JLU figures. So I have like a whole bunch of the Fourth World figures done in that style. It's so cool. I've got Darkseid, Calabac, the Female Furies. I've got Miracle, Barda, a really Light Ray. I should really put them on a shelf or something because it's just a cool collection.
No, those are great figures though.
That and I have I have all of the Legion of Doom from the Super Friends comics cartoons except for one. As Giganta was a Comic-Con exclusive before we started going regularly, and I refused to pay the price for it. But I had everybody else who was in the Legion of Doom.
So yeah, no, the New Gods action figures do look like they were in the Kirby style.
Oh my. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna have to make a trip to ABC Comics because they have a really good selection of old toys or old vintage action figures and see if they've got those.
You know, the one place near me that does the vintage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kristen's like, "You went? Would you find anything?" I go, "Here's the problem: is that if I go on eBay and I see that the price for my the orb is $30, right, in the case,
Is that a
I will
Micronaut
go to
piece?
the one I showed you with the eyeball head, right?
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
just-
Okay, yeah.
He's sitting on the desk across from me. That's why he comes to mind. You see that thing and you see it's $30, but you also look and you see it's $30 mint in the package, all the accessories. You know, he will have it. Clearly, it's been sitting in somebody's toy tub. It's got some scuffs. It's got some scrapes. It's missing an accessory, and he will be trying to get the $30 for it. And I've seen him do that on a number of things. So I go in from time to time, but almost never buy anything. I think, yeah.
You know what? I think there's a con here this weekend. I may have to go one day. I forgot about that. I think it's this weekend.
The Heroes Con or whatever it was.
Actually, they don't do that. Wizard one doesn't do that one anymore here. But it's, let's see, Greater Austin Comic Con, I believe. Let me see. I'm looking.
There's Mr. Miracle. There's a Darkseid. There's Orion that comes with a Kirby head.
Nice.
So yeah, they do have some of those.
Yeah, it is this weekend. Look at that. George Takei is going to be here.
Say hi to Brad for me.
James Hong is going to be here.
David Lopan.
Exactly.
Bring a woman with green eyes.
There's apparently a Big Trouble in Little China photo op. Who else is going to be here? Now I have to see who's going to be here.
Well, Kristen was even talking about rebooting that. One of the Star Trek pages had ruined a title of a movie by substituting the word moist for one word in the title.
Right.
So we were doing, you know, I did the Moist Lebowski. The Moist Father was a good one.
Moist Boys.
Moist Boys. Oh, that one nice. Good ring to it. Dial M for Moist.
That's good. That's really good.
Planet of the Moist.
Moist Cemetery.
Gorillas in the Moist. So yeah. So anyway, we were doing that.
I do like the Moist Lebowski. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just all mod. Do you like sex, Jeffrey? Or coitus, if you prefer?
In the vernacular.
In the vernacular. I'm moist, Jeffrey.
It's all mod.
Just an hour and a half. Her in a robe, one tit hanging out.
Julian Phillips talking dirty for an hour and a half. Julian Moore, not Julian Phillips.
Julian Moore, yeah, just exactly. Just you're absolutely right. A whole hour of her, you know.
Just
It's just one boob hanging out and just coming on to different characters.
Occasional flash of red trim. That's all.
That would be fantastic. The movie opens with you just like sitting there in the dark, and she comes flying at you like that one scene, screaming and flailing paint. And then the next hour and a half is her trying to talk you into bed.
with Kenny Rogers playing in the background the entire time.
And David Thewles.
The Big Lebowski sequel we never knew we needed until now. Oh my god.
Say the word, Jeffrey. Vulva. Do you like my vulva? Hey, man, you try whatever you want, man. It's not a car, Jeffrey. I'm talking about my lady parts. My vulva. My labia. My vagina. Ooh, makes me a little bit ill.
That makes me a little bit ill.
Are you an assassin? Are you a soldier? Are you an errand boy?
Boy.
One more and I'm done.
All right, let's go.
No matter who you are, whatever you do, please don't try this at home.
You know, I try to explain this. Frank, what'd you do? I said, I talked to my buddy Bruce. Where did the conversation go? And it's like, oh, well, we talked about, you know, the Moist Lebowski and an hour and a half of Maud Lebowski coming on to you. Who? People like glom onto that, like, what are you talking about?
Listen to the show, man. Listen to the show.
Well, Richard Lewis posted a thing of himself and why he was never asked to audition for Scarface.
I said kettle of fish.
And so there we were, and I said, "Say hello to my little friend." And
He's
he just
not
came
that
out.
little.
He
I
started
don't know
shooting.
why I said little.
Why did people think that he is?
He's
So
more
I
of an
was telling my
acquaintance than a
therapist,
friend. We
And why
met
do we have to just
once.
be friends? Can we not be more than friends? Can we be less than friends? I don't know. Just walking around with a gun in one hand, a bag of cocaine in the other,
Kvetching.
doing this the whole time. I'm talking to my therapist about this, you know. Why did we hang the guy up in the bathtub? I don't know. It was there. He was there. The chainsaw was there.
First you get the money, then you get
Yes.
the power, then you get the women. Does it have to be in that order?
Does it
What if
have
I
to
just
be
want to
in
go
that
straight to the
order?
women? I don't need the
I mean,
power.
I don't need the power. I love the power. The power is nice, but I don't
Power's
need the
nice,
power.
but if is it just a gateway? Is it
Is
something
it a
I need?
gateway? Do I need the power to get the women? Yes. Is that how it works? I just don't know. I don't know.
Uh, used to love him
What are we
so
going
much.
to do? I don't know. Listen to this.
Here,
This is
help me.
why
with-
do I have this giant mountain of blow? I don't even do blow. I don't even. What is this about? This is a
Could I
ridiculous
not
amount.
get into a different business? Is this wholesale?
I mean, is there any money in wholesale? Am I the middleman? Is that what I am here? Is that all I am to you?
Okay. Now that we're on to 80s comics, I need your help with a decision I need to make.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you probably know, the gentleman's goop, Joe Rogan, has moved to Austin and opened a comedy club. Well, it's two different things. He moved to Austin and he's opened his own comedy club. So the people you suspect would be playing in Joe Rogan's comedy club are it's the Jim Norton and the guys you would expect. But every once in a while I'll look like Gabriel Iglesias, the second fluffy reference tonight, doing 2 nights and it's a small club. So that's interesting to me, right? So here's my dilemma. Dice is coming.
Ooh, hickory
Could there-
dickory dock. Do you go or do you not?
Thank you. Oh,
Oh,
this is what I'm saying. It's like the most like aggressively
You just
Political
feel the
thing I could do.
misogyny rolling out of the
Oh.
theater.
Dice playing at Rogan's Club. It's like just saying those things together feels like I'm gonna like kill someone in their sleep. I don't know.
Women are like, I just feel raped walking past it. I don't know.
And Laura was like, "Are you gonna go?" I'm like, "I kind of feel like I have to." She's like, "He's still alive." I'm like, "Apparently in touring."
Tour, wait a minute, I've seen him, man. He's done the old,
Oh, it's bad.
yeah. That's like the 5 wisps of hair that are
Yeah.
snaped back and glued down in the back.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
either
it's
that or
not.
the line of plugs.
It's not 1990 Dice, but it's still Dice. I mean, I was a fan. I wasn't a huge fan, but still, the idea of Dice playing at Rogan's Club just makes me laugh.
That would, yes, I think to see if he's still doing the same shtick.
Is Bobby Novus adding it?
Just calling it in.
Oh,
My boss was telling me one night about me and Frank about seeing Bobby Slayton at a comedy club, and she's like, "Oh, he is up there just being." He's like, "Hey, you get your fingers, you stuck them up in their pussy," and you're like, "This is not the kind of talk I expect to hear from my female boss."
I'm a little uncomfortable.
I'm very uncomfortable with this. I think I should go to HR.
We went to see. This is interesting. Saturday night, we saw Colin Jost doing stand up.
Oh yeah,
He's doing some shows, and he brought 3 of the guys from SNL with him. He was fourth. So
was
it
it
opened
the
with
Do Not Destroy guys or?
no. I was worried it was going to be. Andrew Dismukes from I went to UT, so he was the opening guy,
Oh, fun.
and then it was the new Hispanic kid who was really funny, and I can't remember his name right now, and I'm doing him a disservice. You know who I'm talking about.
I know he's the one that you kind of like going, is he going to make it? Is he this year's Tony Rosario? What is the deal with this kid?
Nice pull. Nice. Well,
Boom.
I'm guessing since he's got Colin's blessing, he's okay.
Okay.
And then it was the black Pete Davidson guy, who's also from Austin.
who looks exactly like you'd think Black Pete Davidson would look like.
And he made the
down
joke
to
that
even the tooth.
he made the joke that he was tired of being told he looked like Pete Davidson. And then Colin came out and did a solid set. I was not sure about Colin as a stand-up, but it was quite enjoyable. So
That's insane.
yeah.
They've done some skits this year that were I still like the one about them selling the drugs. This drug is so white, it stands there and looks at a yard like this.
And then what's his face is on the wall? Painted the same color as the wall.
Hey man,
And
what's some black tar heroin?
he's coming too. Brian Austin Johnson is coming here doing stand-up.
Ooh, okay.
At one of the little clubs that Hunter played at when he was here a few months ago. And Laura and I were like, ooh, that might be fun. I don't know.
That would be fun.
So, all right, let's see. What else did I write down? Oh, I mentioned it earlier. I finally got around to watching the Harley Quinn Valentine special, which was so fucking weird. I love that show. But it was like, they had all of the couples, like the superhero couples, do like the camera, we met this way, blah, blah, blah. It was Superman and Lois, the Hawks, Darkseid, and Melania Trump. That was funny. Howard Booth was the voice of Darkseid, and the character who was clearly Melania Trump never said a word. She just did that kind of enigmatic smile. And it was funny as hell. But Etrigan was in it as the purveyor of love spells and potions for Valentine's Day. And the voice casting, I still can't quite get my head around. It was John Stamos as the voice of Etrigan, doing the rhyming.
Well, that goes without saying.
But it was like I couldn't place the voice, and I looked up later. I'm like, wait, it was John Stamos? The hell is that? And then, so the big battle at the end, Harley got a spell from Etrigan. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched this 6 months later, like me, that over amplified Poison Ivy's libido and her pheromones went out of the city, and everybody's just boning everywhere. There are people humping in windows. There's a dog boning a cat. There's
Oh,
somebody
Jesus.
going down on somebody with their legs up over their head, hanging out of a car. It's like, wow. And but Bane gets overstimulated and grows into this. Oh no, he gets a different potion from Etrigan because he's worried that his junk is not big enough, right? So he pours it all over his dick and starts rubbing it in, and he goes, "Why does it burn?" He goes, "Don't use if you're taking HGH." I feel like this and he grows kaiju size, right? So his costume shreds. So he's walking around naked. And like every time you think you're going to see his junk, like he's standing in front of a hot dog billboard or something. So there's always these giant phalluses. And he's like walking up the buildings and just humping them till they fall down. He's and the last scene is him walking away, and there's a semi truck hanging where his junk should be. That show, it shouldn't make me laugh. It shouldn't entertain me as much as it does, but my God, it is so funny. I love that show.
Oh, man.
That's the best thing that came out of COVID for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I'm looking parts of it up on the other computer right now.
Why does it burn? It's supposed to burn so badly. I'll just go home to the pit.
Is that what he says?
Yes. Oh,
Shit.
oh man, that's yeah. That's it. That's all I had written down. Anything else you want to talk about? Do you have anything fun on your desk?
Oh, God. I'm looking at the image now with the semi. Wow. That is.
And they had Brett Goldstein as Brett Goldstein. and Bane fell. No, and Clayface was in love with his own ass, and it was a whole thing. It's like
He's got like a little naked girl in his hand.
and that's why he was afraid his penis wasn't big enough because she was a dominatrix, and she thought, and she thought he was there to help with the humiliation session that she was going to. So then they had a date, and she was talking about how small the guy the abused penis was, and he's like, well, it wasn't that small. So then that show. It's yeah. Bane making penis jokes.
Okay, anything cool on the desk? Ow! Don't stand up into the. Oh yeah, I thought I hit my head. No, I got the speakers or the headphones. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's go with.
Nice. Is that what is that new?
This is the Marvel Legends.
Nice.
I am the knight.
Oh, that's cool.
These figures actually are growing on me. I'm not gonna have a gazillion of them, but I figure being sort of a mark for Moon Knight,
Yeah.
I've got the other one. It's like one of those where you're like, oh, so something we can look for. There's two previous Marvel Legends Moon Knights. One has a black bodysuit, one has a silver bodysuit. So
I've seen the black bodysuit, I've never seen the silver one.
So I might look around for that. See, it's weird because when the comic shows come here, you can't find any books. You can't find any trades. Because even those half price bins aren't there. When you go looking for toys, it's predominantly pops or a shit ton of those McFarlane DC figures.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's just not a whole lot of, I don't know.
Variation.
Yeah, and that's the worst part. I get it; it's what sells, but you know, somebody needs to take a chance, right?
I know that's why I'm hesitant to go this weekend because I'm like, I'll just be disappointed, probably. But
But you
I
never
don't know.
know.
See if Connor wants to go with me.
Depending on the price of admission, because you basically, how much do I want to pay to shop?
Exactly. Because I'm not going to stand in line to get pictures made with George Takei or James Wong. So,
I
and
wouldn't
they,
win
are the nerds. Apparently, it's the Revenge of the Nerds. So Booger will be here and Ogre
No,
and Carradine. So yeah, I don't need that.
no, I got
Was
I
Timothy
got like
Busfield busy?
shouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like what was it? Why one year I took a copy of Princess Bride
Mm.
because they had Chris Sarandon, Gary Hughes, Wallace, Sean Wallace, Wallace Shawn, whatever. And I stood in line and got the books signed by that. And Chris
That's
Sarandon was really cool because he goes, "How do you want me to sign it?" I was like, "Skip to the end." So he writes, "Skip to the end," and then sign the back.
Nice.
Because we were talking about it, and we were talking, we got on the subject of baseball. And I said, "Yeah, I go. The Royals beat such and such, and the White Sox." I was like, "Yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer team." He's like, "Not a White Sox fan now." Because I saw them at Yankee Stadium because that was really cool. Because it's actually how I met my wife. The producer of the show that I was in had a box at Yankee Stadium, and so I took her this, and it was the Yankees and the White Sox, and they beat the hell out of the White Sox. He goes, "And that may be why she's with me." And I was like, "Really? And not the fact that you are the Pumpkin King?" He's like, "Nice. Okay, skip to the end, Chris."
It's the Adam Baldwin theory. Bring up something else.
And see what it does.
Yep.
So yeah, that was actually pretty cool. But I was gonna say, I've gone early and not just there's nobody that I want to stand in line for to get their autograph or to get a picture with them.
No, it would be kind of funny to take a copy of Bloodsport and get Ogre to sign it since he's in that.
Oh Jesus, that guy. Yeah, John Matuzak, right? Across your eye. Will Ted McGinley be there?
No, wait. So you said you watched Ted Lasso. Do you have Apple TV now, or did you?
We got it just to watch Ted Lasso.
Oh, I was gonna say because if you've still got it, Shrinking is worth a watch. And the only Ted McGinley's in it. By the way, but
I've heard Shrinking is good.
We pretty well binged that. It's only like 10 episodes. It's one season. Really, really well done. Really well done.
Good to go. Good to go.
Harrison Ford's likely going to get an Emmy.
Nice.
So he's pretty much
Harrison Ford. We treat you right.
It's curmudgeon Harrison Ford and it's curmudgeon and this
extra curmudgeon-y.
It was an extra side of curmudgeon
with smothered in curmudgeon sauce.
There was one episode, and this is not going to ruin anything for you, but somebody said, "Oh, I know what," to Jason Segel. He said, "Oh, I know what your dick looks like." And I looked at Laura and said, "We all know what his dick looks like. We've seen Saving Sarah Silverman." Or forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Marshall.
We've all seen his dick. We all know what it looks like, unfortunately.
And Sarah Silverman, she's done the full Monty.
She has.
We were joking about like in Failure to Launch, where Terry Bradshaw has his naked room.
Yeah.
So now the Babe's out. My wife is like, "Well, maybe we should convert the Babe cave, which used to be my office, back into like a room we use and kick her out." And I was like, "We're going the full Bradshaw." Yes, baby.
And was that greeted with the response I feel that it was greeted with?
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. That's about right.
Oh, come on. We got the house to ourselves. It's like, you have a whole room in the basement to do that. It's like, fine. I go, if you
Okay.
come down there and I'm full Bradshaw, you've got to join. It's the
The rules of the cave.
And I mean, now I think we should try and get that into common usage. The
Full Bradshaw.
full Bradshaw for getting naked. Gonna go the full Bradshaw. What?
I like it. And in fact, that may be the title of the episode.
Go in the full Bradshaw?
Yeah. I had some other things written down, but I'm liking that one. I had see you in the sales pavilion.
Nice.
He brought a coterie of lackeys. And of course, the Moist Lebowski.
The Moist Lebowski. Coterie of Lackeys. I think that's my favorite Robichaux novel.
That's the one where he went to Butte La Rose, isn't it? I don't know.
What is it? Somebody asked me, like Frank asked me about the Arby's burning down, and I was trying to explain to him. I go, that's 45 minutes away, or 3 sentences if you're a Dave Robichaux novel. He goes, what? I go, it's like 3 sentences to New York, to Baton Rouge on one side and 3 sentences to New Orleans on the other. I go, those are 45-minute long drives.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. Yeah. So whenever he just hops in the car and buzzes on down to some coon ass joint in Lafayette, it's like, that's not like an afternoon. I mean, that's a whole half a day trip right there. And why Swallow isn't up his ass about using department resources to spend them at some coon ass joint in Lafayette.
It's really out of your jurisdiction there, big nobleman.
Nobleman, yeah.
Come on, Streak.
Yeah. Helen Swallow?
Swallow, yes.
Swallow?
Yes, you are correct. You got your
Yeah.
Cajun pronunciations correct.
Damn Skippy. That's like, do you ever like see when they talk about Justin Herbert and go, Abear, it's fucking Abear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we've done a full hour and a half with
That makes up for whatever we did the last time.
yes. That would not, what we did last time would not be legal in most states at this point.
Oh, God.
Hello.
Oh,
Political joke. Hey there.
And politics are a joke anymore.
Yes, I don't even want to get started. We don't even talk about the indictment, and let's just not.
It's long overdue. And you know, I would imagine if you're a Trump attorney, you'd be like, yeah, Judge, we actually request a gag order on this. Please, for the love of
Shut
God,
him off.
just make it worse for him to talk. Oh, I think he's doing quite a job of that.
He doesn't really need my help. I don't
No,
think.
it's like caught him part on Fox News, and he's just like, well, I took them. Well, they could have asked. Well, they did. Well, they didn't give me enough time. They gave you 2.5 years. Well, all they had to do was ask. They issued a subpoena, and you moved the boxes and lied. Well, I had to go through them. It's like,
I'm a busy man.
his lawyer is just like, I fucking can't do this.
That's why he keeps going through lawyers like handy wipes.
He's going to end up with a public defender at some point.
All
So,
he deserves.
It's some kid 2 years out of law school trying to make a name for himself. He's working for free anyway. So.
I told Laura the only reason at this point to take that job is for the book you can write later. That's the only reason to take that job.
No,
only
that's
reason.
okay. Can I keep the tapes? Because when I transcribe this shit, no one's going to believe it.
They're going to file this in the fiction section. There's no way.
I need the tapes to keep it out of fiction. These are some fantastic claims. Roll tape. The man's
Wait.
got that little golden retriever next to him. Just roll that beautiful beat.
He actually said it? Oh my God. That's not some AI generated chat bot, right? He really said that. That's going to be his next claim. I was a victim of AI. I never said that.
Just AI. AI, powerful stuff, as you know.
It's even the computers are out to get me.
Your favorite president.
It was Steve Apple.
Steve Apple. You know, whenever you're like on social media and you see a tweet from him and you're just kind of like going, I am 80% sure this is fake.
I used to think so, but now at this point.
And now you look at him going, yeah, I'm really not sure. I want to say there was a time where I said this isn't real. And now you're like, yeah, it's real close.
So yeah, we've got our choice of doddering old men for president. Is that where we're at?
Pretty much. Or crazy Bob Kennedy.
Holy shit. Yes.
5G loosens the blood-brain barrier so your toxins can poison your head. This is like from the interview. And Joe Rogan goes, well, how does it do that? And Bob Kennedy's like, oh, I'm no expert.
I love that his wife is like, this is not me. Yeah, I'd still like to work, please.
Oh, his wife is famous too, isn't she?
Cheryl Hines. Yeah, she was on
There we go.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh my God.
She was so she's used to being the wife of a crazy person because she worked with Larry David for years. So.
I'm not happy with the color of my skin. Just kind of beigey.
I'm no expert, but
you're 5G. The water turns frogs gay, and probably us too. What the fuck are you drinking?
Pretty good. I don't have anything on my desk because the thing I was waiting for did not get here.
Oh,
but I will have. I believe next time we will have. I will save it. We'll do an. I'm not sure if I can save it till then because I want to see it when it gets here. But we will. We may not be doing an unboxing, but we may be taking it out of the package when we next meet.
Okay, Funko Blacklight Mothra.
Ooh,
I've seen the glam. It's like I think Funko's done Blacklight way too much, but I may get Mothra just because.
Where did you find Etrigan? I can't find him.
I found him. I found him here in town at a place called Vintage Stock.
Okay.
He's a PX exclusive. I think he's PX.
Okay.
So you might find him in like specialty comic shop. We would have no problem finding him in San Diego.
Yeah, I probably because I have the Justice League animated Etrigan right there. I have the McFarlane Etrigan there. So.
Which is a hulking beast of a toy.
It is. I really need to take him out of the box and put him over here so he's visible. But
yeah. No, he's a cool look, and he's a cool pop. And I did find the Blacklight Chase.
It's such a great character design.
It really now he would be awesome in the Kirby style of figures because he would the hip out pose and he just looked like a jumping monkey everywhere.
Well, I will tell you.
The Jack Kirby jumping monkey pose.
That's what it is. Monkey on a hot plate.
Crouching tiger, jumping monkey. Monkey on a hot plate. Does that excite you, Jeffrey? When I talk about the jumping monkey.
How did you die? Laughing about the monkey on the hot plate. It sounds like a Jackie Treehorn production.
Or Tennessee Williams, lesser known plays Monkey on a Hot Plate.
It was an early draft.
It's an early draft got on a hot 10 room.
I was gonna say the one Kirby written book that I've not had the balls to jump into yet is his run of the original run of the Demon, because reading the rhyming Demon gets really tiresome
Oh my God, a whole like run of episode. Oh, that would hurt.
Because I read Matt Wagner did like a 4-issue miniseries like sometime, and I read that a while back. And by the time I got to issue 4, I'm like, I can't translate this shit in my head anymore.
My
It's
head
hurting.
hurts.
It does. Just, can he not talk anymore, please?
Ah.
So yeah, Jack Kirby doing iambic pentameter scares me.
Ugh. Oh man. Oh, you know, did I ever send you a picture? I may have posted it. Shakespeare in the Park is this week,
Okay.
and I was asked. It's the
Oh yeah,
one ad.
the hot rod.
The hot rod, yes, the bard rod or hot bard or whatever it is. Rat bard is what I was calling it.
Barracuda.
Barracuda in a Pontiac Tempest. He's got the 13 pool ball shifter because they're like, why is it not? I go, it was going to be a skull, but that's a different play.
And a 12, that's a different play.
Yeah, and he's got the tongue hanging out.
Full
Sunglasses
rat
on.
stink, huh?
If I had done full rat thing, I'd have bugged his eyes out, but I decided to scale it back a little bit. These are cultured people. I should have worked hashtag culture bitches real small.
And your signature and your at the bottom.
Oh my God, yes. That was actually fun. I'm waiting to hear reactions from the, you know. Oh, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors. Why is Shakespeare in a hot rod?
Why wouldn't he be?
Why wouldn't he be? At least he's not, you know. So, all right.
Shall we call this one?
I think so. An hour and 40 minutes is a pretty good time.
We definitely made up for the last one. We have actually even burned some goodwill.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
all
there's
right.
people listening in France. Trebuchet amigos.
As always,
I always thought
Trebuchet.
it'd be funny if like Babe were to come back and go, yeah, I was staying with his family and they tuned in your podcast. I'd be like, you found them. Are they nice?
That would be amazing. That would be just the best thing ever. All right. Episode 61 of Slurp Toast the Podcast. This time brought to you with limited technical glitches.
Limited technical interruptions.
We will see y'all in a bit. Until then, I'm still Bruce.
I'm still Steve.
And that's all, folks.
4th
Bye.
of July, and then it would actually be at San Diego.